Hello everyone. We'll have the class for Haeinsa Temple. As you see the sketches, we'll have uh, more focus on the nature around Haeinsa Temple. First, let's start from the soft rocks. As you see, if you looking at the scenery of the rocks, first, we'll see the clear water of the, Gaya Mountain flows between the valleys. We call the valleys names Hongryu-dong. The Hongryu-dong, the valleys, gentle curves of the rocks washed in the, you know, whole years, thousand of the years to dazzle in the June sunlight. It is called Hongryu-dong Valley. The autumn leaves, so red, they are projected red in the flowing water. Hongryu-dong Valley runs next to the forest road. It's full of the flowers, announce the news of spring. Hongryu-dong cherry blossom. See this the center pictures. You see, cherry blossoms. Cherry blossoms scatter randomly. The sky is all pale pink. It becomes like a pale pink. Let's wave your hand to cover the sky under the greenery of the cool cherry blossom trees. As you walk up to the Nongsanjeong, the place we call this Nongsanjeong, at the entrance of Haeinsa Temple in Hongryu-dong, you will feel the memories of the past seasons made by the old cherry blossom leaves. So we see new cherry blossom, and we also have the past cherry blossom at the same time. By the feast of the five leaves of the cherry blossoms in the full bloom, with branches extending in a geometric shapes. As you look at it, very carefully, you see geometric shapes. The soft spring breeze sweeps the cheeks. White cherry blossom leaves flutter, fall along with the wind. It is, Nike advertising. Nike designed, um, Nike designed running the shoes with the concept images, such the pictures in the center, the base on the cherry blossom design. Especially Nike design launched it in Japan, very special design. The Japan's Coca-Cola expresses the various forms and light colors of the cherry blossoms in full bloom on branches, you know, stretch it in geometric shapes. Even if the design is the same materials, a lot of effort is made to express the culture and nature of each country with images. So they're showing not only for advertising, they also, think about their culture. In our culture, hanbok is, Korean traditional dress. Um, these traditional dress with the pale pink shirt and a gray blue girdle with the folded sleeves, like a cherry blossoms in the full bloom, hidden behind the gorgeous cherry blossoms. The side of the vest of many stripes of colors in the black, the colorful flower, decoration ceremony catches the eye. The cherry blossom leaves placed during spring remind me of the seasons. The design is made with very meaningful meaning of the Korean cherry blossoms at the end of the vest, adding three-dimensional, sophistications. We'll face the spring at Sori-Road at Haeinsa Temple. In the spring of Sori-Road, Sori-gil at Haeinsa Temple, there are many things are clear enough. You can always see even if it is not clear. Feeling the sounds of the cool breeze on the fall day and taking a cool step along the Hongryu-dong Valley. See, the picture, the cosmos along the road, beckoning to come fall. The other seasons, desolate fields, just rural roads. But in autumns, you can walk while watching the golden fields. Various sounds, such as the sound of water, the bird song, and forest, and the sight boasting autumn colors in the red, flowing Hongryu-dong Valley create a sophisticated sensibility. The red leaves in autumn are excellent rose. If you see the pictures, we have very beautiful rocks. See, especially rocks in the water, very gorgeous. The place we call Gilsangam. When Gilsangam reaches Nakaam, it's a place next to Gilsangam. The Sori-gil reaches its peak. Nakaam is similar to Seonyeotang, where the fairies bathe. It has a more romantic rock. In Nakwadam, the place in this valley, there's a Korean letter, and also they have Chinese letters there, where the petals fell on the nails, cannot easily leave. There is a story of a person could not leave this wonderful, beautiful place easily. This is a story of French ambassador Roger Chambord. He is actually as an archaeologist and linguist. He traveled all over Korea at that time and showed deep affection for Haeinsa Temple. Holds the Tripitaka Koreana. He said he had not forgotten Haeinsa Temple until his death, and finally asked for his remains to be scattered in the Sori-Road before his death. It is also like a work in artists introduce the texture of this crumbled paper. or cloth as it is, creates a space by carving out a plane or used a visual characteristic of the layers of the cloth. Perhaps people are caught in amazement at the characteristic other rocks cannot have. The uncontrollable force of the rushing breeze has been cut and broken into stones, and a quiet rock in the middle of the barren valley. Whether discarded, broken, or unstable is okay. They come together again to present the beauty of nature. When the transparent sunlight penetrates between the leaves of the bushes in the deep valley, the cliff becomes a shadow of an owl. Let's move to small and unpretentious tombstones. Tombstones? No. So wherever you go near temples, you're faced to these kind of tombstones. Especially when you climb the Haeinsa Temple, the first thing you encounter is the temple structures, and you can hit these tombstones for the first time, except for Iljumun. People may see Iljumun first, but I say you faced first time you see these tombstones. There's a small and simple corner to say it is tombstones. It feels natural and pretty, even when viewed from different angles. They also look like pots properly placed in the corner of the courtyard of a private rural door. Wasn't he trying to emphasize simplicity in the gorgeous Haeinsa Temple? There are many places where tombstones well established, like the Buddha of the Yeongguksa Temple. If you go to Yeongguksa Temple, engraved with the floral patterns like chrysanthemums, each lotus leaves. Even though they were buried in the mountains, the tombstones visible through the trees and nature stones were very natural, as if they had come out of the ground. Even if it is colorfully sculpted, you can feel the beauty of the Korea, assimilate to nature once again. I think these kind of stones, monuments in the temple should have such a simple and a noble taste, like our normal life, even when viewed from a different angle, small and simple. That's why sometimes I miss the natural tombstones. We move to snowy pine forest. On the stepping stone bridge of the thousand years of sunlight rising on nature, there's a flat flag burning in the dark. The quiet winter. See second pictures. Snow in the Haeinsa Temple. a very quiet winter temple. The snow-covered pine forest, also fantastic. The snow winter, Haeinsa Temple, the pure white snowy winter temples with good seasons to practice while walking quietly. Along with the snowy scenery of the winter mountain temple, another scenery is to create over the stepping stone bridge surrounded by northwest. Let's move to Daejokgwangjin. Daejokgwangjin is very famous. Haeinsa Temple revealed at the end of the Gaya Mountains. Haeinsa Temple, along with Songgwangsa Temple and Tongdosa Temple. These three temples are very famous. It's one of the three major temples in Korea. Particularly famous as a temple enclosed Tropitaka Koreana, a World Heritage Site. As a Boppo Temple, the place where the Tropitaka Koreana is kept. These Boppo Temple, there is the Janggyeongpanjeon. We call the places, Tropitaka Koreana is kept. The place holds the Daejokgwangjin and the Tropitaka Koreana located in the center of the temple. In general, in the center of the temple is Daeungjeon Hall, where the Buddha is placed. However, Haeinsa Temple, founded with Hwamgyong as a central idea, is called Daejokgwangjin because it enshrines the Buddha of the Vajrayana. After waking up the silence in the early autumn morning, the temple has very historical stories. All of you know about the Hongryu-dong. Is one of a famous novel depicts Hongryu-dong's activities from being born as bastard of the Yangban. Yangban is an upper class in people's, in a hierarchy. During the Joseon dynasty, to become a hero who built a utopia from an evil enemy. This is a very famous folk stories. Okay, so anyway, the temple said Honggyu-dong had established a wonderful way to shake off Haeinsa Temple. The preparation for the guests were upset. In a traditional fairy tale, there is a story about the Haeinsa Temple. I asked the monk because I was wondering why the cauldron of the Haeinsa was so large. It wasn't big enough for human to paddle it, but it was said to have a very large copper cauldron. The magnificent natural scenery harmonized with the surrounding mountains. Birds moved to the monk's space for a moment. When you enter the meditations worship space, your mind begins to open. Wooden fish and engraved metal plate sounds. You see the picture the monk, hit the, wooden fish. Um, I can hardly express how splendid it to hear the bell. At this moment, if you were listening to the sounds of the bell of the dawn at the Haeinsa Temple, you will suddenly come with a sense of excitement, and pretty flowers will laugh at the Haeinsa mountain rocks. You can hear the sounds of the wooden fish. The cloud engraved metal plate is the sounds of the offering mealtime. Wooden fish is one of the Buddhist, uh, ceremonial tools. Make sounds from the wood, hang it end, and hit it. So these wooden fish is marker made from wood to make it look like a fish. The sounds, the voice makes the sounds by tapping on a inside, means not to sleep like a fish with eyes closed and to practice hard. Of the large insides, the wooden fish adds a taste to the whole temple with its elegant and creative appearance. Would it be said it is gorgeous and gives life to the entire temple? The fish figures have existed in various places dating back to our old culture. The fish protects thief is a folktale, closet at a house in the Joseon dynasty. And the fish awakens a way of liberation still, originate in the landscape of the eaves, can be seen from the temple bell and through the gates of the temple hall. The fish swims through the lotus flowers, and the wind, the path passes through the landscape. At the end of the ugly moves, the fish makes a sounds. Some air, the wind blows softly with the scent of the flowers, creating a sparkling luster on the still water and crossover. The meaning of the wealth, meaning of the wealth, the fertility and success of the fish disappears, and the beautiful horse is swimming in the wind. Haeinsa Temple Janggyeongpanjeon, 동사간판전. It's a very long name, right? This is a very famous place with the beating chest. Head to the front hall where the Tripitaka Koreana plate is stored. 동사간판전 is a cross roof with two compartments in the front end and one compartment in the sides, with natural stones placed flat on the base, supported by the column with a slight bleeding. For natural ventilation, the entire wall is treated with sling to facilitate ventilations. Very smart, ancestors. It has a 3-beam structures to provide structural stability. The ceiling is row of lantern lanterns with exposed rafters. Uh, let's talk about more about this place. The 15th century building built in a traditional way. All this wooden block house is a natural ventilation designed to control temperature, humidity, even with the temperature changes. In this way, was able to protect wood blocks from rodent and insect infestations for 5 centuries. It's too mysterious, all to say that it is simple miracle. It could have been intact even after dozens of fires. There is no other way to explain it except that it has been blessed by the Buddha. Tripitaka Koreana has been preserved for 700 years without any signs of warping or decay. Something rotten, right? It contains remarkable science and technologies. Our ancestors very proud of the world's best in sophistications and accuracy. Um, the trees rot even when the environment changes a little. To prevent this, the Goryeo dynasty people, 고려인들이 fell trees in the cold winter, then soaked them in seawater for 2 years. This is because salt has property of absorbing moisture and prevents distortions of the wood. Although it is a book with inverted letters on a wooden board, we cannot but be surprised by the delicacy of the wooden board made of elaborate engravings. It's like the hard plates have been kept unchanged for thousands of the years. I can't touch them with my hand, so I have to grope them with my eyes and grope them again. I want to put them in the canvas of my mind by pressing them deeply in my mind. See, we have sculptures. As you enter the temple, there's museums, 성보 museums, filled with our eyes first. 안승검, he's a sculptor, and he's a famous artist. So we see his artwork. Buddha's voice, made of bronze in front yard stops the people going. It makes us look back on the invisible heart of minds. If we lay our heart down for a while between the half Buddha status, we're in between without our any knowledges. Okay, let's take a break and then come back within a 5 minutes. Thank you.